So I had a little time on my hands. I was stuck in traffic, and I was listening to some music. I was listening to Bob Marley, Exodus by Bob Marley, great song by the great Bob Marley. And I got like 100 of his songs that I downloaded, and I'm still trying to listen to all of them, but it's like most of them are just really, every one I come across as I listen, I got it mixed in like a jukebox, so they play randomly, but every one I come across, it's just really good song. But Exodus started playing, and Exodus is a really good song, and Bob Marley was like a prophet, So, and it's true, like every step, we make is one closer to an Exodus. And I think that was even in the Hopi prophecies, they talked about that a time would come when people would leave what is now called the United States, right? So there's not going to be no making America great again in the end, right? Now, I don't know when that's going to be. I would assume, probably soon. But soon in the sense of like 5 years. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before about a lot. But one thing I'm sure of is that everything these people do is one step closer to the Exodus that Bob Marley talked about. There will be an Exodus from this place, and I think Bob was just like, he was intuitively channeling his intuition and his art. Like artists generally, like musicians and visual artists, these people are naturally intuitive, and I think that Bob was intuitively channeling what he felt, and there's gonna be an Exodus, right? And every step that they make, like right now they got this whole thing with, oh my God, there's a drone swarm, and it could be aliens, and it could be a nuclear material and missing, and blah blah blah, and they won't tell us. And I was thinking like, I watch because you need to be aware. You don't want to walk into a trap. But but I don't really give a shit other than that, because I know that whatever they do is basically one step closer to Exodus. Like, to me and my people getting out of this place, right? Like, this is not my resting place. And I understand that, right? Not like, for instance, a Tim Scott, or, there's some Negroes, right? Like, a Tim Scott or Candace Owens, or different, you see these different, bootlicks on YouTube, and they be like, they're sort of the we sick boss Negroes, right? With their MAGA hats on and stuff like that. And, where they think, Wakanda forever or America forever. And that's just not the case. Like, they can't, intuitively, they don't understand. Like, these are people who, like, I notice everybody now, all of a sudden, everybody, like, they're looking at the webbot with Cliff High, or, they're talking about, well, I saw this guy and he had a precognitive dream. And I'm thinking to myself, this is shit I was looking at 15 years ago. Right? Cliff High and the webbot I was talking about, nobody paid it any attention. But now Charlemagne the God is talking about, data mining and Cliff High and his, webbot. And I thought that was just interesting that, you got all these, bootlicks jumping on certain bandwagons. And, very Johnny come lately type of people, right? Like, all of a sudden they're trying to get in tune with, I don't know, precognitive dreams and intuition and different things. And I just find it interesting, right? These Johnny come latelys. But you know, I even saw the guy, this crypto guy. He's like, oh yeah, this guy had a guy MM Crypto. He's like, yeah, the guy had a precognitive dream. He talked about it, and it's interesting, right? But with Charlemagne the God, you know, what he misses about this whole thing is that, you know, bootlicks like him, you know, who he sits up and he tries to eat at the trough of the Democratic Party, or they want to eat at the trough of the Republican Party, right? These Negroes that there will be an exodus. So what you're, you know, I don't know what all of a sudden you're looking at, you know, all this, you know, kind of divination, whether it's electronic divination or whether it's precognitive dreams or whether it's remote viewing. You know, what they won't understand until it happens is that, like what Bob Marley understood, that this is all going to end in an exodus very soon, right? In the scheme of things. That's where it's going. There is no MAGA in the end, right? And every step that they make, whether it's bombing Gaza, whether it's bombing Russia, whether it's what's going to happen with Trump, and you know what I mean, whether it's drones, whether it's, you know, drone swarms, false flags, whether it's their satanic alien friends, you know, they're releasing them and letting them run around openly to, you know, try to, you know, get order out of chaos and reorder things, you know. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It won't stop the exodus. It's just one closer to step to exodus. You see? And their total destruction. Bob also had a song called Total Destruction. He was channeling a lot of shit. Bob Marley was channeling a lot when he did the song Total Destruction. He said total destruction is the only solution. And it is. I mean, when you look at like white supremacy, racism, all this shit, you know, and, you know, they complaining, oh my God, Donald Trump doesn't have any black people, you know, in his cabinet. It's just Indians and white people. Well, what else did you think he was gonna have? Right? Take what you can get and keep going, right? But like because what Bob Marley said, total destruction is the only solution. That was a song by Bob Marley as well. And then the Exodus, right, was the other song by Marley. And that's what got to happen. You can't fix. You're trying to, like, these people are trying to piecemeal fix America or racism or whatever. You can't. Like, total destruction is the only solution. It has to be wiped, right? It's just like a tape drive or whatever, a hard drive. It has to be formatted, wiped, and you have to start fresh. And that's what's gonna happen. And then you have to exit. There has to be an exodus. You have to go somewhere else and start over. You can't, you know, as they say, if you put lipstick on a pig in a dress, it's still just a pig in a dress with lipstick on it. You can't fix everything they've done. And I don't mean just America, but the world. It has to be destroyed. There has to be total destruction, because everybody eats at the trough, right, of, you know, racism, white supremacy. They eat at the trough of Satan, the great Satan, you see? And if any part of it survives, it'll just infect them again, you see? Because they eat the Indian, you know, everybody come to America, right? For example, the wicked Indian, Kamala Harris, Cash Patel, any of these Indian, you see these Indian, Indians down there at the Department of Defense, spokespeople. You see these, the Mexican, the wicked Mexican that come across the border, the wicked Hispanic, Catholic that come across the border with their pictures of white Jesus in their bags, and, the wicked African with their pictures of white Jesus on their walls, right? How can you live in Africa and you got a picture of a white Jesus on your wall? Does that make sense? Total destruction is the only solution. It has to be destroyed. You can't have black people with a white God on their wall who enslaved them and colonized them. It's just total madness. And you can't talk them out of it. Like, you know what I mean? You can't talk a wicked Hispanic out of taking down the picture of white Jesus off his wall. What that shows you is that the wickedness of Satan has been ingrained in his memory and in his body and in his family and in his, his spirit, right? You can't talk him out of it. It has to be totally destroyed, and it has to be an exodus. It's the only solution, like Bob Marley said. And so every step that these people make, they think they're making a better trap. Well, we're gonna spring the trap, right? We got these drone swarms, or we got our little alien buddies, satanic alien buddies, right? Or we're gonna wage war, we're gonna do this. Every step they make, like the man said, every move you make, God is watching you. Well, he didn't say God, but you know the song about Sting. Every move you make, I'll be watching you, right? So every step they make is one step closer to their total destruction, which is the only solution, because there must be an exodus, as Bob Marley said in his songs, right? And so you can't let that shit worry you. Like, for me, it's a sign of like I'm more calm. Like, they say, oh, this is gonna get people this psyop, or this war, or this move, or what, this civil war. It's gonna be civil war. The economy gonna crash, and this gonna happen. That's one. I don't believe in no rapture. That's bullshit. I believe, you know what I'm saying? I believe in the Exodus as is written in the book of Revelations and as written in the Hopi prophecies. I don't believe in no rapture and that shit, right? That shit is garbage. That's garbage. That's propaganda, right? That's racist Nazi propaganda. To think that you're gonna fuck up the whole planet and then white Jesus is gonna turn you into light and shoot you up in the sky, and you won't have to pay for none of your crimes of your ancestors, right? Your father and your grandfather. You could just get turned into light, and then you go eat cheese and crackers and sing songs in heaven with white Jesus. I mean, this is what these people they think. This is the shit and the foolishness that they tell each other. You're gonna get a front row seat for your destruction. And so every step they make, they think, I don't know what they think. Like, they think, well, we're gonna, tighten the noose, or we're gonna bait the trap, or, you know what I mean, dig a deeper hole. But none of it is working for their benefit. Whether, none of the things they're doing is working for their benefit. So you should be encouraged when you see them, because I'll be like, you're about to crash out. You know what I mean? Like, these motherfuckers are about to crash out majorly. So you shouldn't be afraid of them. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be afraid. Like, people, they be like, oh, I'm afraid aliens, supernatural. Listen, stupid. Let me school you on something. This ain't nothing supernatural, right? Aliens and these satanic aliens are not supernatural. If they was, they wouldn't be hiding from you. They would just walk up to you and slap the living shit out of you, right? Like a bully. If I'm Superman, right? What do I have to be afraid of anybody for? If I'm Superman, right? I just walk down the block and just slap the shit out you. Bow, bow, bow. I don't give a fuck about you. I pull out my dick and I just piss in your face, right? If I'm Superman, right? If I'm supernatural, I got all these superpowers, I'm unstoppable. Why the fuck am I hiding from you? I won't hide from you. Because I can destroy all of you, you know, pretty much. So these people are not these beings, these aliens are not supernatural. You gotta understand that. They die like men. That's why they hiding, and they use, and their so-called powers are not powers. They have implants like Elon Musk. They have, Wi-Fi implants that they use to help control, that can, which are the source of their so-called supernatural powers. They got implants, right? That can disrupt human brainwaves. They're not supernatural. They don't have real, probably, telepathy. What they're using is just more than likely electronic augmentation. And so once you're able to understand that, I don't know, put on a tinfoil hat and block their, I'm just being facetious, but come up with a way to block their manipulation of you psychic, I would say electronically and psychically, where they can't just, like Magneto in X-Men. Magneto had a helmet that could protect him from psychic attacks. So if you had a helmet like Magneto and they couldn't attack you psychically, then you just stab them and kill them, right? Because they couldn't manipulate you. So they couldn't knock you out or blank out your memory or make you, they couldn't camouflage themselves, right? And so then you could just defend yourself. You just, shoot him in his fucking face, right? It's always a reptilian. Okay, well, that motherfucker, he's not bulletproof, right? He's not a bulletproof reptilian. He's just a reptilian. You shoot him with a 4.5 or a 38, probably a 22, his ass would die. If not, he wouldn't be hiding, right? You hit him with a sword, his ass going down, right? That head is coming off. And then I just put a reptilian head on my wall. You know what I mean? That's it. So it's not supernatural. So you gotta chill. You got to chill, like EPMD said. You can't let these people get you all riled up with their, supernatural bullshit. I don't want to make this too long, but so you gotta realize that every move they make, it's just one step closer to the end for them. Whether you see aliens, whether you see civil war, world war, whatever, it's the end of the road for them. It's in the beginning of the road for you, depending on who you are, because then that exodus that Bob Marley talked about, that's gonna happen for you. But, the total destruction has to come. So, but anyway, that's all I got. I'm gonna wrap this up. I gotta keep my eyes on the road. I'll get back with y'all later.